constantly sluggish, irritable, or lack focus in your day-to-day life, well, listen up. There's some interesting new research out there that says what you eat could literally help remedy all those problems, plus protect your mind and strengthen your memory. Dr. Neal Barnard's new book, Power Foods for the Brain, puts all the latest research together. Doc, this is an interesting read. Now, you say there's a 3-step plan. Can you give us insight into those 3 steps?
Step 1 is food. When we look into the brains of people who have had memory problems, or specifically serious memory problems like Alzheimer's disease, we find something shocking. We find that they have the accumulations of little clumps of protein. These are called amyloid plaques, and we now know that foods seem to be the cause of this, or at least a major contributor. What are they? The bad guys are, number 1, saturated fat. I'm talking about the fat that's in bacon or other meats and in dairy products. Number 2, trans fats. That's donuts and other pastries. They have the trans fats in them. Number 3, when you look into the brain, you often find certain traces of iron and copper and other metals that might come from cookware. So those are the bad guys. The meats, the dairy products, the snack foods that are cooked with that fat. So the good foods. Take a look at these berries here. I want to zoom in on these really quick. You see those bright colors in the blueberries and the strawberries? Those are antioxidants that protect the plant, but they get into your bloodstream and they protect the brain. At the University of Cincinnati, researchers showed that blueberry juice or grape juice could measurably increase memory and increase recall. Other brain foods, the green leafy vegetables, like they have folate, which is a B vitamin, foliage, folate. Beans, loaded with vitamin B6. These are important brain foods. Now, step 2, it's not just what you eat, it's also exercising. Lace up your sneakers 3 times a week. A good half-hour brisk walk noticeably increases not just your memory, but it actually increases the size of the parts of the brain that are involved in memory. Step 3, go to sleep. A lot of people are not very good with this. About 10 o'clock, turn off the lights, go to sleep, because your brain needs rest to integrate memories so that you can pull them up the next day. Food, exercise, sleep.
Speaking of, what is this I hear about building memory power as I sleep?
It's true. The first part of the brain, what happens when you lie down to sleep, the first part of the night is what we call slow wave sleep. So words you've heard during the day, names of people you know. They're just sort of a jumble of file folders in the brain that get logged away during the first half of the night as your brain has slow wave sleep. Part 2 of the night, after midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., that's when you're starting to have many, many dreams. That's when the emotions get integrated. So what if you stayed up all night? Number 1, your memory will be terrible. Number 2, your emotional control will be bad. So sleep is important for both of those things. So what does that mean? Careful about the caffeine. Careful about alcohol. It will make you go to sleep, but alcohol is modified in the blood to compounds that are stimulants closer to morning. So be careful and you can get a better night's sleep.
Got it. Doc, are there any particular vitamins that are going to help motivate my medulla oblongata?
There's one more thing that I do want to mention about vitamins. Down here, I've got a bottle of vitamin B12. And vitamin B12 is sold at any drugstore. It's highly, highly absorbable. The government came out a few years ago and said everybody over age 50 should be taking vitamin B12. I say that's true, but start earlier in life. Vitamin B12, you need 2.4 micrograms per day. That's the RDA. But they all have a little bit more than that. It's totally safe. And if you have a choice, when you're out at a meal, at a restaurant or anywhere, always choose the vegetarian option. That's going to have the most vegetables, the most brain-boosting vitamins, and the healthy antioxidants for you.
Great. Thanks, Doc. Power Foods for the Brain. Quite the interesting read. Appreciate you being on the show today.
Thank you.
Meet today's local mompreneur, plus we'll do some chair Pilates and prepare a lamb dish. It's all ahead after today's top stories and weather from your 41 Action News team.